Okay. So because a big part of what I do and specialize in, right, is identifying the patterns, the beliefs, the behaviors, the habits, the relationships that are keeping you stuck, or that, are part of the reason why you're not making progress and really growing and thriving. I wanted to at least quickly touch upon some of the common stumbling blocks that I tend to see on why people aren't making progress, why they're not growing the year that they want, And as far as what the answers are to these, that's where I encourage you to contact me, or, there'll be future content that I'm creating that's going to help to give you some really, really practical and effective strategies on how to make progress in these areas. But wanted to at least kind of highlight this to show you, I think where people tend to get stuck. So lack of motivation, there's something called the motivation myth. This idea that, when I feel motivated or inspired enough, when I have the right energy, then I'll get started on these goals. We know without a doubt that that's really not a very impactful or effective way to move forward. A much better way is just get started, right? There's no magic formula. Just do it. Nike nailed it when they said that. But when you start on your goals, even when you don't feel like it, motivation comes as a byproduct of taking action, right? So if you want to be motivated, just get going. Just create some forward momentum. Like I said, there's nothing more powerful than the impact and power of progress. So procrastination, related very much to the motivation myth, but procrastination can rear its ugly head in a variety of ways. And there are some really effective techniques on how to overcome or crush procrastination, and I think that's super important. If you learn how to get started on things when you need to get started and how to get things done when you least feel like it, you are going to really not only grow the year you want, but you're going to be hugely successful and effective in the areas of life that matter most to you. Bad habits. So identifying what your habits are. If you're an anxious person, if you're a person that tends to run late a lot, those are all habits. They're just kind of ingrained ways of doing things. And the reason why I mention that is that you can undo habits, right? I'm not saying it's easy, but there's definitely strategies and ways to, create more effective habits. And up to 60 to 70% of our behavior is habit-based. So fear, there's fear of success and fear of failure, a fixed mindset concept I'd definitely love to get into a little bit more, but there's a growth mindset versus fixed mindset. Carol Dweck, her book is awesome on growth mindset. And a fixed mindset just has this idea that our characteristics, the talents that we have are fixed. They're like born, either we're good at something or we're not, right? Either I'm a great singer, I'm a great tennis player, a great athlete, or I'm not. And the research is unequivocally clear on this, that that's not true. That with practice and repetition and good coaching, we can become good at anything. The brain has almost unlimited neuroplasticity. So lack of support, who you surround yourself with. I know Jim Rohn was famous for saying that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. I'm not sure if that's actually empirically validated, but certainly rings true to me. So, and I do want to cover this a little bit more in a future video too, is how to create the right support system to make sure that you're really, getting optimal kind of traction. And then last, blaming others, this idea of externalizing our success, that if only this person would support me, if only this person would cut me a break, if only mom and dad would believe in me, all those different things. Hey, I certainly understand how those things can be impactful and how that can create a stumbling block. That's certainly not lost on me, and I'm very, empathic towards those things. But until you take 100% responsibility and accountability for reaching your goals and growing the life you want, you're never going to make the traction and have the success that you want. So these are some of the most common. This is by no means exclusive, an exclusive list, but I think some of the ones that I tend to see a lot. And like I said, if you want, the best tools and strategies, you want accountability to really help you to, overcome these and to grow the life you want, certainly, get in touch with me, and we can at least create a powerful conversation to see, if I might be a great fit to help you grow the 2018 you want, and then ultimately grow the life you want and thrive. All right, so just wanted to quickly highlight again, as I love to give people resources. I frequently tell clients of mine that I work with is I'm going to give you a lot of resources, exercises, And while there's certainly, no grading, it's not homework in the traditional sense. My thought is I'd rather give you more resources with the idea that some of the things I suggest might fall really flat, and might not be practical or effective for you. But if you're willing to experiment and explore a few of the different things I send, we're going to ultimately find the right set of tools and strategies that really, really work for you. So, and I'm a big fan of finding more information. I'm certainly a huge avid reader myself. I love constantly picking up new insights, perspectives on things. So in light of that, I wanted to offer a few books that I think are really relevant to the material related to a goal setting and goal achievement. The first book I have here is Charles Duhigg's Smarter, Faster, Better. He also wrote the Power of Habit. This is an awesome book on just understanding what habits are, how to set habits, things like that. Charles Duhigg is a real thought leader and expert in the kind of science of habits. Stick with it, a scientifically proven process for changing your life for good. Awesome, awesome book filled with all kinds of evidence related to how to create change that actually sticks and applying it to different areas of life, business, family, things like that. Really, really impactful book. And it kind of gives a slightly different perspective than, the Power of Habit and Faster, Smarter, Better. So big fan of this book. For business, really for anything in life, but there's probably not a better book than this, The 4 Disciplines of Execution, Achieving Your Wildly Important Goals. So, they call them your WIGs, but how to identify what your wildly important goals, how to identify the stuff, your lead measures versus your lag measures, things like this. This is an awesome book, and if you really want to get crystal clear on what's most important in the actions that are having the biggest impact, highly suggest this book. And as I think I referenced in earlier, the concept of the 10X kind of way of setting goals, Grant Cardone, if you're easily offended, I would certainly not suggest picking this up. Grant Cardone is very in your face with a lot of things, but his energy can be infectious. And I really do love the idea of thinking bigger, and he challenges you in a really significant way just to think bigger, to put more action, with this formula kind of that he puts down. If you follow it, you are going to see just massive momentum and progress that you start to achieve. All right, thank you for spending some time with me and allowing me to hopefully give you some powerful resources and tools. I hope that you are absolutely crushing it this year. You're already off to a great start, making progress and momentum in the areas that matter most. But if there's any way in which I can help you to be a powerful resource and try and astonish you with value, to help you to really figure out, maybe where you're stuck and how you want to grow, and give you the tools, the strategies, the support, and the accountability to grow the day, the week, the month, the year that you want, and ultimately then to grow the life you want and to thrive and to live in an extraordinary fashion, go ahead and contact me, and I'd love to have a chat with you and see how I might, be able to collaborate with you in a really impactful and meaningful way.